pass it to Arun in the front. All right, so I've also come to GIDS before. Did anyone come to my talk a couple years ago? Oh, yes, very good. All right, good man. So to prove to you guys I was actually here, I took some video. So I'm known for traveling out to user groups, doing motorcycle tours. Does anyone know where this photo was taken? Bangalore, yes, very good. So I survived riding around. Actually, I'm actually not driving the motorcycle. My friend is, because I was too scared of the Indian roads. But I survived the back of a motorcycle. Had a lot of fun. And what I'm going to talk today about is a little bit about community, specifically the Java community, which is a huge, vibrant community. And actually, I got the inspiration for this talk from my good friend Arun. Did you guys give Arun the mic for a sec? And Arun actually, he gave me the inspiration for this talk, and he also gave me the title. Do you remember the title of this talk, Arun?
Feeding the 9 million beasts of Java developer beasts?
Exactly. So feeding 9 million Java developers, although I improved the title a little bit. So I took Arun's title, and because the Java community is ever growing, now we have updated the talk, and you guys will get to see how many Java developers are there in the world. So 10 million. So anyone here a Java developer? Very good. So welcome to the community of 10 million Java developers. And you're part of a very large and vibrant community. So there's 314 Java user groups. There's a very active user group here in Bangalore. So if you are not a member of that, I'd recommend going in and checking it out. Over 10 million Java developers by our last count, 250 Java champions. Do we have any Java champions in the audience here? Yeah, a few? Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about that program as well, but that's a lot of speakers and folks you see talking about Java technology are part of the Java Champion program. And we also have a bunch of Java user groups and individuals contributing to the JCP, the Java community process. And these are all vehicles at which you can participate in the Java community. So what I hope to inspire you to do is to participate more and be more active in the Java community by engaging with a bunch of these different activities. So a good way to find out where all these activities are occurring is the Java user group and event map. This is on the Java Champion site. It was created by Stefan Janssen, who's a Java champion. And it shows you globally all the different Java user groups, Java champions, Java events, kids events. So in addition to events for us, professionals, encourage your kids to get more involved in technology with organizations like DevOps for Kids, which teaches young students how to, young children, elementary school, how to become more well-versed in technology, give them a little introduction. Arun actually runs the Bay Area chapter of DevOps for Kids. Is there a chapter in India? Do you know offhand, Arun? Bangalore. Okay, so Bangalore has a DevOps for Kids chapter. You should definitely check that out. These are different ways you can become more active. These guys were all on the 20th anniversary Java tour, so we did a big tour around Brazil, celebrating 20 years of Java. This was another one of the stops at one of the universities. You can see all those happy Java developers. Brazilians are very photogenic. They love posing for camera and also hugging. Anyone know that guy on the right? Andre? Okay, very good. He's a Java champion. He runs Hacker Gardens globally. So these are an opportunity you can sit down with other professionals, work on open source projects, and then engage with different community members. So wherever Andre is, or Heather, you'll probably see a Hacker Garden occurring. OpenJDK. So this is a good way to get involved with the ongoing development of Java. So Java is open source. You can join the OpenJDK project. You can submit patches, give feedback, review specs, and get involved. And Martin Verberg there was interviewed by Yolan and spoke a lot about how to get involved with OpenJDK. Also, we have the community keynote, which we do each year at Java 1. So last year, we did a Star Wars theme. You can see a bunch of the Java community members there playing with robots on stage, doing drones as well. This is a 3D printed drone. So Michael Hoffer, one of the community members, he's a researcher at University of Frankfurt. He used Java software, Java Constructive Geometry Library, to 3D print a drone, and then we flew it on stage at the keynote. So if you guys have great ideas for like projects or Java-powered technology things which we could show or feature at Java 1, then you can always reach out to me, and there's always the option to show off cool stuff that's coming out of the Java community like that. A bunch of events also have associated unconferences. So this is a bunch of Java folks up in Storhöget in northern Sweden. Another community unconference is Jikrit. So they actually opened up this year to have an open registration. So a few hundred Java developers will be doing an unconference on the shores of Crete. And there's also community panels. So this is an example of a community panel in Japan. And we're actually running a new unconference in Japan called J-Onsen. So if you wanted to go to Japan and hang out with Java geeks, that's another free unconference you can attend. A bunch of different cities, we run geek bike rides, so you can participate and actually ride before events, hang out with speakers. So here's Michael Hoffer again, the guy who built the drone, and showing off some 3D printing he was doing at Java 1 using a stereolithographic printer. So this printer prints from a vat of plastic and kind of pulls the material out of it, which is very cool to see. Here's another community member, so Venetia Singer. And he has a bunch of IoT demos which he has built up, including an IoT surfboard, a bunch of different Arduino-based projects. And so he was at Java 1 showing some of the different technologies and things which he's built, and was both a speaker and was at the Java Hub showing off some of the different technology projects. And then we also had a group project. This is the youngest member of the Java community, Trisha's daughter. And she's wearing a hearing helmet. So we had some artists from Germany who were using Java technology. We used a CNC cutter to cut out the sphere, the objects on the sphere, so attendees could draw on their phone or on a touchscreen display, and that would cut out whatever you drew. And then we made a big collage as part of the conference and then presented that at the end of the event. A nice low-impact way of engaging is with user group forums. So on the Sunday before Java 1, we have a bunch of user group forums where you can engage as members of Java's user group or a community member. This year, we're actually turning it into a full community day conference, which is going to be free to attend, or basically free. If you get an exhibition pass for Java 1, then you can attend the community day for free. Interviews as well. So I do a bunch of different interviews with speakers. We've actually opened up the Night Hacking brand. If anyone wants to use it for community interviews at different conferences, just reach out to me. And one of our Java champions, Sebastian Daschner, ran interviews at JavaLand recently by himself. So it's another way you can engage. And of course, kids workshops. You recognize this guy, Arun? So this is a great way to teach the next generation of programmers. And I think this is really important because we want to get our kids and the next generation of students interested in technology to choose it as an occupation. And the best way to do it is to get started, expose them to technology with small workshops where they can get excited about technology, they can do small projects, they can show interest. And later on, this will help them to choose it as a career and get them more motivated to explore the same sort of career path, which all of us are in. So I talked a little bit about Java champions and showed some of that. And one question is, how do you become a Java champion? And it's actually really easy. So there's 5 criteria to be a Java champion. And this is an example of a bunch of Java champions at the Java Champion Summit. The first one is leadership. So if you're running a Java user group or you're involved in events, then this qualifies as leadership. So as I mentioned, there's a Bangalore Java user group. There's a good team of guys running that. They can always use more help. This is a great conference as well. Volunteering and helping out with GIDS would be another way to show leadership. So there's lots of things. Also getting involved with OpenJDK would be another way to show leadership. Second, being a technical luminary. So one way to do this is to be a speaker. This is one of our Java user group speakers, or joining the JCP. So those are 2 ways which you can kind of show that you're a technical luminary. The third criteria is to be independent. So most of you probably qualify for this. Unfortunately, I messed up and joined Oracle. So I'm no longer a Java champion. So don't make that mistake, and then you satisfy criteria number 3. Number 4 is educational. So again, you could run kids workshops, you could do something philanthropic. That satisfies criteria number 4. And the last one is being influential. So a good example of this would be writing articles for online publications. We have a bunch of authors who publish in the Java community space and also Java Magazine. But there's a lot of other technical publications. So just getting your word out there, doing a blog, doing technical content is a good way of engaging like that. And if you meet those criteria, then you should introduce yourself to one of our Java champions who can nominate you. So the easiest way to get in the program is have an existing Java champion nominate you. And there's a bunch of them who are right here at the conference. So hopefully you guys can aspire to be more involved, join the Java Champion program. Let me talk a little bit about how we measure success and how we grow the Java community. So one of the ways is with the Java Twitter handle. Who follows @Java? Okay, excellent. All the hands should have gone up. So most of the content we put out, it's extremely popular in the US, in Europe, and increasingly in Brazil and Asia is using Twitter to get technical content. There's 313,000 followers of the Java Champion Twitter handle. Actually, I think it's up to 315,000 now, so it keeps going up. Yolan manages this Twitter handle, so you saw her earlier in the picture interviewing Martin Verberg. Also, I lurk on the Java Twitter handle, so if you direct message Java, Yolan and I will both see it. And there's a lot of good content coming out about new Java features, new Java releases, updates on what's happening in the community. So I highly recommend following the Java Twitter handle. Anybody use Facebook? Okay, a few more people. So we also have a Facebook channel for Java, I Love Java. This is another good one to follow. Admittedly, Yolanda and I don't spend as much time on the Facebook channel. So I would recommend following the Twitter first and also follow the Facebook. And again, there's lots of people, over 295,000 likes on the page, lots of folks following the content, and we're going to be putting a lot more images as well from the different events which we're doing. Also, all of the technical content from events we go to is published on the Java YouTube channel. And there's a lot of views on these videos. So like the top one here, learning Scala, learn the fundamentals first. I wonder who the speaker for that one was. So actually, it's kind of funny. Every year, Venkat comes to Java 1. He not only steals the Rockstar Award, he also gets top place in the video views. So it's very unfair. But give a big round to our favorite speaker. And I hope you will grace us with your presence again this year at San Francisco. But you can watch all the videos online. It's really good technical content, lots of views of the videos. And I think the last thing to mention about community is it should be a lot of fun. So earlier I showed you guys some footage of me going around Bangalore on motorcycle. Last year, I also went around and did a big tour around Japan and visited all the Java user groups kind of, north to south. And actually, we went all the way down to Okinawa and up to Hokkaido as well, in addition to the mainland of Japan, although those two were not by motorcycle. So, visited Tokyo. They have a beautiful life-size Duke in the Tokyo Oracle office. Sebastian Dashner and I were traveling via motorcycle. So we rented some motorcycles in Tokyo, got a bunch of GoPros to capture all the footage while we were traveling around. And at each of the events, we would also live stream from the events. So all of the information was captured on live stream so you could watch it remotely. Had to eat lots of tasty food. That was challenging. Drink lots of coffee. We were sampling the coffee to make sure it was at U.S. standards. So the Japanese coffee is actually better. Slightly, it's comparable to Coffee Day. About the same, right? Okay. So we also got to see some really cool drip coffee setups. Did some, again, mandatory sake tasting. Actually, we turned this into a qualifying business purpose. So at the JJug event, we did a sake tasting in the evening with the user group members. And so we had a challenge. It was the foreigners versus the locals. Can you guys guess who won on picking out the right variety of sake by region? Okay, so somebody gave me a pity vote for foreigners. But yeah, the locals, it was amazing. So we had 3 bottles of sake from different regions. Like one from the east, one from the west, one from the south. And there was a lady there who her family has a liquor license, so she knows a lot about sake. But she correctly identified each of the different bottles of sake by region. So I think for the Japanese, sake is very equivalent to wine. And for us, foreigners, we got one of them right. Better than 0. And of course, a lot of different Java content. Speaking about Java, having panels about Java, and then meeting lots of different community members along the road. So actually, we're going to be doing another tour there in May to go along with Oracle Code and Java Day Tokyo. So if you follow the Java Twitter or the Night Hacking Twitter handles, you'll be able to see some of the live streams and activity and follow the tour live and see some of the things which are happening in the Java community globally. I think it's a good way to track and see what things people are doing in other parts of the world and how you can contribute. So I showed examples of folks doing cool stuff in Brazil, folks doing stuff in Japan, and of course, we want lots of cool events and things coming out of India. So thank you guys very much for the presentation about the Java community. And I'll be doing a more technical talk later on, showing a line follower robot. So if you're interested, come by for that.
Thank you.